Number 1. Taekwondo, Kungfu, BTS. Being the magnate of BTS, Kungfu is often taken care of by other members. But you should never be fooled since he's actually among the strongest members. In addition to weightlifting and boxing, Kungfu also holds a black belt in Taekwondo at an impressively young age. Unfortunately, because of the low quality of the video recorded back in 2009, which was when he was only 12, it's impossible to tell which degree he was on for this level. However, his Taekwondo was still undeniably impressive, because later on, he frequently showed off these skills on stage, at fan meetings, and most recently in 2018, he also took them to the next level for BTS's mobile game, BTS World. Here, Kungfu played the role of a Taekwondo student with big dreams. And despite the hectic schedule around the world, his Taekwondo was still at its finest. While he only had some time to learn the martial art choreography for several fight scenes, he still nailed it effortlessly, with sharp and powerful moves. Jin, BTS. Besides Kungfu, Jin is also another member with impressive Taekwondo skills. And as he revealed on BTS X Game Caterers in May this year, he even owned a black belt for this type of martial art.
이걸 잘 차는데?
그러니까.
나 발이 되게 잘 올라가더라.
어렸을 때 태권도 검은띠였거든.
After that episode, netizens started to dig up more occasions where Jin showed off his skills. And soon enough, they found a bunch where he once did a flying kick to break a piece of hard plastic, and demonstrated a high kick in front of other BTS members without warming up. In fact, he had mentioned his impressive qualifications in Taekwondo, but previously, fans only thought he was just good on an ordinary level for scoring 7 out of 10 and winning 7th grade at his Taekwondo class. Johan X1. Not only famous for the impressive visuals, the former center of X1 is also well known for being a multi-talented idol, excelling in everything, including aspects outside the realm of music. When participating in Produce X101, he used to leave everyone in awe with the powerful moves in Taekwondo. And as later found out, since his father was a professional Taekwondo coach, he had studied this type of martial art ever since being a kid. At only 8 years old, Johan had already had a second-degree black belt, which often takes a person around 2 to 3 years to achieve. And in 2012, he even won the first prize at pre-professional competition. In primary school, he was a representative athlete. And while he started to be scouted by many different agencies in the second year of secondary school, Johan still decided to turn them all down to focus on Taekwondo. He even took it so seriously that for 13 years in a row, he only spent time practicing to get a scholarship to university. Then he quickly climbed up the ladder, being chosen to be in the backup of the national team, and won the grand prizes at the young category twice. Unfortunately, because of his injuries and ankle ligaments, Johan's dream to be a professional Taekwondo player was put on halt halfway. Felix, Stray Kids. While Felix often comes across as a shy boy with an incredibly deep, husky voice, he's actually one of the strongest members in Stray Kids, with a 3rd-degree black belt in Taekwondo. As found out by fans, Felix has studied this type of martial art since he was a 4 or 5-year-old child, and in 2010, which was the time Felix was just 10, he had already gotten the red belt, aka the 2nd degree of the advanced level. Then fast forward to 1 or 2 years, he was again seen with a 2nd-degree black belt. And though no later pictures of him were found, many said that he has now reached the 3rd degree of black belt. Despite the hectic lifestyle being a member of Stray Kids, Felix also doesn't seem to have forgotten everything he learned, because in a concert in 2019, he even flexed his advanced Taekwondo skills with some sharp moves and high kicks. Somi. While Somi was born 1 year later than Felix, her Taekwondo skills are actually a little bit better than his, because as of now, it is said that she had leveled up to a 4th-degree black belt. And despite a packed-up schedule of a solo idol, she still spent time to practice and harness her skills in this type of martial art. The interesting thing is that, while the peak of her schedule was around the time she worked as a member of IOI in 2018, she still devoted lots of effort to improving her Taekwondo. At the beginning of May that year, Somi was spotted at a test-level site, executing a bunch of punches and kicks. And since hard work paid off, she received the good news that her belt was agreed to be leveled up just around 1 month after that. According to Somi, Somi once shared that she transferred to a Korean school because of her love for Taekwondo. And while she didn't mention it much, you can easily see how passionate Somi is with the sport, considering her choosing Taekwondo to perform at the individual performance in 1/16's episode. Besides that time, Somi also showed off her skillful Taekwondo on various occasions, like Weekly Idol, Please Take Care of My Refrigerator, or even a live performance of IOI on M Countdown. Number 2. Kumdo and Kendo. Beko, New East. While Beko doesn't usually talk much about his skills in Kumdo, a modern Korean martial art derived from Japanese Kendo, he has actually practiced the martial art for 10 years in a row. Since Beko was so skillful, this was even considered one of his salient strengths. And in the debut solo teaser of New East, the company even let him perform Kumdo despite being a talented main vocalist. However, people were just as impressed by Beko as when they first heard his singing, because all the lines, all the moves he executed were sharp as if they could cut thin air into two. Chansung, 2 p.m. Besides Beko, Chansung is another idol choosing this martial art to practice, and actually took it way more seriously instead of going for another popular type of martial art that he was also skilled at. As a video recorded in 2013, Chansung had already possessed impressive skills despite his young age. And besides the solo fight with another student, he also captured attention for various high jumps in the virtuoso sword dance at the end. On an episode of The Star Secret, where Chansung appeared with Nick Hoon in 2019, the production crew also revealed that they had paid a surprise visit to his high school and met his kendo teacher. There, the teacher revealed that Chansung was a typical student with a high sporty spirit, and though he just developed interest in kendo around this time, his skills still progressed super fast. His charisma in kendo was so big that not long after, a fan club was even formed because of his popularity. Number 3. Hapkido. Baekhyun, EXO. While Baekhyun often comes across as a slim idol, he's actually a super strong member with multiple noble plaques in Hapkido. As revealed when Baekhyun appeared on Our Neighbor Sports in 2015, he used to learn Hapkido for over 9 years, starting from his primary school, and even won a gold medal at the national competition. The interesting thing is that while he had to deal with many promotional activities as a member of EXO, his Hapkido skills were still perfectly good. He even showed off several techniques like spinning kick and Brazilian kick on the show, and left everyone in awe for the powerful moves in disguise of a slender figure. Thanks to the athletic background, Baekhyun also managed to jump over 7 people, and as clarified by Baekhyun himself, he used to be able to do it with 11 people when still practicing hard with Hapkido. Chorong, A-Pink. Being a rare female name along with Somi on the list, Chorong also proved she was no less competent than any male idols with a 3rd-degree black belt in Hapkido. However, considering the athletic tradition running in her family, and Chorong's father is a master, running a whole Hapkido training center, this was nothing much of a big surprise anymore. As revealed by Chorong, her father had taught her this type of martial art for 8 years in a row, and on Cool Kids on the Block, she also took everyone aback with the skilled moves while first appearing as a soft, fragile girl. Also on the show, short footage about her showing off the skills was also shown. And in the video, you can easily hear how other kids in the class were also impressed by her fight with 2 more students. Even until recently, when Chorong appeared on Running Man in January 2020, she still showed that her Hapkido skills only aged like fine wine in time, and quickly proved her words by doing a flip over with just one hand. Number 4. Wushu and Kungfu. The 8, 17. For many Chinese K-pop idols, Wushu and Kungfu were the 2 most popular types of martial art that they go for, and the 8 isn't an exception. As researched by fans, he already did the traditional martial art of China at the age of 5, and even after becoming a famous idol, he still kept the passion with Wushu and Kungfu by repeatedly bringing the martial art on camera. From the pre-debut survival show, practice rooms, performances on music shows to variety programs, fan meetings, and even big events like Mama, people still often spotted the 8 skillfully executed all the moves, and proudly promoted the famous martial art of the Chinese. Dao, formerly EXO. Similar to the 8, Dao also learned Wushu and Kungfu from an early age when he was just 8 years old. While he's a talented idol with outstanding music capabilities, his martial arts skills were so impressive that SM Entertainment even let him do a solo teaser as a new member of EXO with them. Still, people were just as impressed and quickly had his name marked in their minds after seeing Dao effortlessly nailing the dangerous flying flip, swift spinning kick, and various aerial techniques that only professionals could do. Not only that, he even brought his Kung Fu Wushu skills onto a famous show in China, and performed them right on the spot without much warming up, and showed them off again when appearing on episode 8 of EXO. Number 5. Boxing. Nichkhun and Taesyeon, 2 p.m. Different from the majority, Nichkhun and Taesyeon opted for boxing as their favorite martial art. But unfortunately, since the two idols weren't so high-key about their athletic background, not much information about the time they started boxing and how long they had been practicing was revealed. Still, you can easily see how good they are at this type of martial art, because Nichkhun and Taesyeon were once chosen to show off their skills in an ad for Coca-Cola, though they apparently did it in an entertaining way. And in 2014, Nichkhun even joined a China boxing show Cold Heart as a team manager. Are you impressed to learn that these idols were actual athletes? Which martial art do you find the coolest? Comment down below to share your thoughts with us. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to BeBoss TV for more interesting content. Thank you for watching.